Hello, everybody. It is so good to see you all again. I know you missed me. Well, if you didn't, I missed you. My name is Charles Galbreath. For those of you I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, and those of you who I'm welcoming back, I want to definitely tell you how excited I am to be the host for the HBCU Experience Movement. So many great things are happening. As you all may know, I have been a featured lead author in the Kings edition. Yes, the HBCU Kings, not one edition, but two editions. I'm also the former National Alumni Association president for Tennessee State University. But tonight, folks, is not about me and it's not about Tennessee State University. Tonight is about Alabama State University. So I know I have some Hornets tuning in. So let's just go ahead and get that out of the way and say, what's going on, Hornets? How we doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the show. Now, if you are watching, I know why you're watching, because you heard that I had one of your most prestigious alumni here with me as a guest, Dr. Alicia Williams. What's going on, Dr. Williams? How you
Hey,
doing?
hey, hey. Thank you guys. I am doing well. Super excited to be on this platform and talk about the Alabama State University.
Put that "the" in there. I love it. You know you went to an HBCU when you put the.
You better let them know
I
it.
love that. So how are you doing today?
I am doing well. I am just excited and blessed for all that God is doing in my life in this season.
Yes, yes. Let's talk about it. So what are some of the things that you're excited about? You know, the fall's coming. What's going on your way?
I'm super excited because I'm a family girl.
Okay.
And I come from a large family, and I'm more excited because this year my daughter is a senior in
Oh,
college. Yes,
okay.
at my alma mater. So I'm even more excited about what's to come because I get to do this with her. And that's what makes this season because this will be her last homecoming season.
Oh, that's awesome that you share that bond. Was that
Yeah.
something that you planned, or is that just how it worked out?
You know what? She actually kept it a secret and did not tell my husband and I that she would be on the very same campus where our story started.
Okay, we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna come back around to that. Okay.
Okay.
So let's tell the people a little bit about you. Okay, so what's going on in your world? So you went to Alabama State. Let me back up. The Alabama State
Get it
University.
right.
So we know that. That's our
Mhm,
common ground. We know that. But
mhm.
let's talk about what you're doing today. Who are you today? Who do you define? What, as they say, what are your commas?
Come on now. Um, when I think of the Alabama State and the roots, um, education plays such a major role. And so my background is education, is who I am, is what I know. But I often say, even though I'm no longer in the classroom, my classroom just looks different today. I still
Hmm.
have an opportunity and have had an opportunity for many years now to still impact lives globally through what I do, and that is simply empowering women across the globe. I'm a transformation empowerment coach. Of course, I'm a speaker. I'm sure you probably can tell through the excitement and
I
all.
picked it up.
But most importantly, and also an author too. Don't let me leave that out. But at the root of who I am, it is to simply inspire, educate, and empower women across the globe.
That's so important. You know,
Yes,
there's so much going on in the world that, you know, puts a shadow on the shine of women, especially
hmm
Black women. So
most
I
definitely.
I salute you for the work that you're doing. And you
Thank
know,
you.
in this season, what is a word that you would give women, Black women who, you know, I've seen the statistics of Black women out of jobs, women dealing with various issues.
Mhm.
What's a word that you have for women?
Well, one of my mantra and one of my favorite quotes that I often speak, which is by, someone unknown, is no one else is you, and that is your superpower. And
Mm,
I state that because as women, we wear so many hats. But what I love about my superpower is I get to walk in my authentic self. Well, a world where so many people are shadowed by what they see, or they're too busy trying to pretend to be someone else. I often say, take off the mask.
Hmm.
because people respect and love you and draw to you when you truly walk in who you are, your authentic self. So I always say, no one else is you, and that is your superpower.
I love that. I love that a lot.
Thank you.
So let's talk about, you know, the young girl that becomes a woman.
Mm.
The young girl that is now the woman that sits before me decided to go off to Alabama State University. Let's talk about her. Let's talk about what led you to the Alabama State University. Where are you from originally? Let's go back to that story.
I am originally from Mobile, Alabama, aka the Port City. We're on the Gulf Coast. Um, I am the third oldest. So my parents, who've been married for almost 48 years, we had there are three and three, three girls and three boys. So education was a powerful tool that my parents talked about often. It was without a shadow of a doubt. You were going to school. It was either you were going to the military or you were going to off to someone's school. However, they pushed that knowledge was power. And so with that being instilled in me and my siblings, it was no shadow of a doubt that I was going to an institution of higher learning, which would have been an historically Black college. Because one of the things that people will often ask, because we preached and my parents preached so much about education first, education first. Many thought that they were educators. They are not.
Hmm.
However, I'm gonna take you back for a sec. I will lead you to where we are today, but take you back for a second. All of my siblings, including myself, are educators.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Educators. Who would have ever thought? But however, I always say that nothing is by mistake. Everything that has happened in my life and then the lives of my family. So I'm rooted in what they taught us, which was education. Education had become the focus. Myself, initially, I started out wanting to be a physical therapy. So, but if I can let you in on a little secret, when I got to Alabama State University, the program wasn't there yet. So
Mm.
at some point, but my second love was always to educate. Even being the shy girl, the shy little girl that I was growing up, my voice came when I became a senior, between my junior and senior year in high school, taking on leadership roles. I'm serving in different organizations. And when I got to the Alabama State University, I believe God opened me up to say, this is where you will be. Now, prior to me coming, I had already had two siblings who were attending Tuskegee University, and my who started the legacy, which is the oldest child, which is my oldest sister. She's a product and a graduate of Alabama State University too as well. So going to Alabama State University was without a shadow of a doubt. I had no other interest because I got to see everything in full blown, just having family members there.
Okay. Well, we have just a little bit of a freeze on your picture. Let's see if we can pull you back in. There you are. All right.
Okay.
We'll keep it moving from there. All
Yes.
right. So it's a family thing. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
I'm hearing
Hmm.
that again, the love for an HBCU runs through the family. There
Hmm.
were some different HBCUs, but of course the encouragement, the inspiration to attend college came from older siblings. Um,
Yes.
and so that's awesome. And so when we look at your choices, so those, what drew you again, if we can back up to that, what drew you to Alabama State University versus going to
Family.
Tuskegee or versus going somewhere else? And I may have lost some of that in when you were away if you spoke of that. So I apologize
Yes,
for repeating.
my older sister drew me because she was already a student at Alabama State. So as she was graduating, I had already had four years prior being on the campus, and I was like, I can't wait to get there. So already having the experience of what this campus produced and just the rich culture, I knew that I too couldn't wait. 4 years later, here I am stepping on the campus of the Alabama State University.
Yes, 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 yes. And so when I think about, so first of all, I love your pen. That's
Oh,
awesome.
thank you.
I
Thank
love
you.
that. I love that. Let's talk about what it takes to be a hornet. What does it take to be a hornet? When you were there and you were becoming a young woman, what energy exists inside of a hornet?
Pride.
Mm.
When I wear this pen, when we know that it's a hornet, and if you mess with a hornet, you might get stung, all right?
I
But we
like
are
that.
serious. We buzz with excitement. We buzz with culture. We buzz with, pride. There's nothing like being on the campus where so many legendary history trailblazers grace this campus. So why wouldn't you get excited? Why wouldn't there be a buzz on this campus? And so that buzz transcended, and I saw it for 4 years. So, but when I got there, it was something completely something completely different, because now I get to say I am a hornet. So I
Mhm.
wear this pen with nothing but pride.
I love that. And so when you think about the difference between the campus when you were there and
Mhm.
now that your daughter's there and y'all share this bond, what are some of the changes that you've experienced?
Well, first of all, let's talk about the campus life. The dorm life is, and I often say, well, wait a minute, we didn't have that. You guys have so many new amenities. But as I not only get to look back as a student, I now get to say I am a mom of a student at this institution of higher learning, and to see how much it has progressed, because some of the things that she has access to today, I did not have access to, many 20 plus years ago. So to see how she's able to matriculate and have all of the resources, and just to see her light up with pride, she has that same pride, that just makes me glow as a parent, to say I am proud to say that my daughter continues the legacy on.
Mhm. Are there anything, so like I know that there are tons of activities
Oh yeah.
on the campus. So what were you involved in? What are some of the things that your daughter's involved in? Any
Okay.
similarities there?
So initially I came in very quiet, because I was quiet, and I'm very observant. I'm pretty much like that to today. So I don't just jump right in. However, it wasn't until my sophomore, junior year where I started, participating in things on campus, got involved in the educational clubs, volunteering. At the heart of who I am is serving, serving others, and that comes with the background of loving education, helping children in need. So I will often serve at the local elementary schools. Even this was prior to me interning, and having to do the required hours. I believe that every second out of the day that we as young adults impart some knowledge, confidence in another child, we are setting them up for success in the future. So I always like to be hands-on. So when I had an opportunity, not because I needed the volunteer hours, it's because that's truly what I wanted to do in my heart. So I served quite a bit. And from there, I was always excited because, of course, my sister is a Delta. I became a Delta. So to see that, she gave me the inspiration to join her in sisterhood, legacy. And so I became a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated in 2001. And becoming a member of this illustrious sorority help me to continue to serve in the capacity that I wanted to, and still serve in the capacity that I do today, is because that's what we're all about, building that sisterhood. I create, outside of my sisters, there are three of us. We're all product of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So not only are they my blood sisters, they're my sisters in the bond too as well. And so to have that experience, that was everything to me, is because once again it was my older sister who paved the way. And so I wanted to have her be excited about what I was doing. I wanted her to be proud of me and follow in her footsteps, and the same for my sister who came behind me. So being a part of a sorority was more than just about having the letters to me. It was about actually being hands on. And I'm so glad that I didn't just, pledge and not do anything. More than anything, it was about how can I make an impact? And that impact has continued today.
Mm. I love that.
Thank
And
you.
when we think about impact, I'm glad that you bring us to that word. It's like a bridge to the next question. Impact is being the lead author of a book that highlights the amazing experiences of tons of alumni that people really want to read about and know about. And I am talking about you, the lead
Oh,
author
thank you.
of the topic that that brings us together, and that
Mhm.
would be the Alabama State University edition of the HBCU
Yes.
experience movement. So
Mhm.
let's talk about how it feels to be the lead author. What was going through your head when you were approached to be the lead author and started writing your chapter? Let's talk about that.
Well, I'm always honored because I believe there's a blessing anytime someone recognizes you and see the greatness within you. A lot of times we move about life and we're doing different things. Is for me, it's never about the applause. It's always about the impact. So when it was brought to my attention, I see you. And I want you to be a part of this. Not only do I want you to be a part of this, I want you to be the lead author. So it makes me, if I have a little humor side of me too, and I think about Mr. Brown. Oh, me? You want me to do it? And
Oh,
I like to laugh. That's one thing about I'm very serious, very professional, but I think we need enough, we don't have enough laughter
I
um,
agree.
today. And we
I
need that with
agree.
all that we're dealing with within the world. But in all honesty, I was very humble and honored to serve as the lead author of this project. Because I feel that my story, and I know that it will and continue will impact, but will impact for years to come as we continue to build this legacy at Alabama State University.
And without giving too much away from your chapter, give us a little bit of a hint of what was something that was important enough for you to share from your experience.
What was important enough for me to share was pretty much my roots, with my family roots. Because I would not be here. I'm a product of Mr. and Mrs. Ricky L. Wright Sr., who instilled the importance of me of how important it was to be a Black woman
Mhm.
that is educated. Because there are so many things that are out there. The odds are already against us. Number one, because we're Black, but to be a Black woman with a powerful voice who did not allow anyone to put stigmas or say what you can and cannot do. One of the things my parents always taught me is that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Come on.
Even through my trials and tribulations, because let me be clear, the path wasn't easy.
Hmm.
There were struggles. There were times where I wasn't as confident as I am today. That's why when we talk about what Alabama State truly did for me, it molded and shaped me to be the confident woman that I am today. Walking those halls and understanding nothing was going to be given to me. As I often say, my cousin E.T. Eric Thomas would say, nobody owes you anything. I had to go out there and get it. I hear the young people say, I had to get it out the mud. I didn't get it out the mud, but I worked through that mud by, walking the campus, making sure I didn't have any excuses, because I understood that in order for me to get from here to there, I had to have a no excuses mindset. I was going to succeed no matter what was going on to the left of me and what was going on to the right of me, because we all know as a student at any HBCU or even a PWI, you come across your challenges,
Yeah.
but we all know our challenges are quite different on
Yeah.
an HBCU campus. Is we have to go a little bit harder. We have to dig a little bit. And two, at the root of it all, I had to ensure that I kept God first through it all. I had to keep God first through it all and understand it was so much bigger than me. I've got somebody coming behind me. Didn't know at the time that my daughter would be the reason why I beamed the way that I beamed today, because I never knew that that was part of God orchestrated plan for me
Mm.
to someday have my daughter, my husband and our daughter, to walk the very halls that are still prevalent today, to say, wow, this is what legacy looks like.
Yes. 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 And let's talk about your husband. So you met your husband on campus?
I met my husband off campus and later found out he was too a student at Alabama State University. And we
Okay.
often talk about that, being married, been together almost 25 years, but married, will be married 20 years this year. And
Okay.
so to see our product, which is our child, walk those same halls, we beam with so much pride.
I'm sure.
It
I'm sure.
to see her step onto the campus where I stepped on quietly, she stepped boldly. And I'm often told, Alicia, she stepped because you look at who's her example. She learned from the best. She stepped out, she joined so many organizations, she's leading organizations on campus. So that in itself makes me proud, makes us proud.
That's wonderful. So wonderful. I
Thank
think
you.
that you are an embodiment of an energy. And I think that that's something that we find on HBCU campuses. We find an energy that we
Mhm.
can't explain
Yeah, yeah.
why we can do what we can do or why we can say the things that we say or move the way that we can move.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
you see it, and I see it in you. I see that energy.
And that
Yeah.
comes with that comes with that haunted pride. That pride is rooted deeply now because I do have legacy there. I at one point didn't understand the importance of why I need to give back to that institution.
Mhm.
But when I think of, no, 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 I have a daughter there. She, we were in that position before where, you go to school, you graduate, but we didn't understand at the time in my earlier years the importance of giving back to your HBCU and the impact that is made because it created a life for me that continues today. And so, because of Alabama State University, I'm going to do everything in my pride to give back to that institution and pave the way, not only just because my daughter's there, but because so many other children deserve an education.
Mhm. Mhm. So true.
Yes.
Let's talk about what moves you to believe. And I know I'm talking to a speaker, so I know you'll catch me with this. What moves you to believe that when it comes to etiquette training? Now I know I did a little research.
Okay.
I think I'm talking to a master etiquette coach,
Okay.
etiquette speaker. How do you think that people who are in new experiences and are uncomfortable. A lot of times we see people at banquets, we see
Mm-hmm.
people eating, and
Mm-hmm.
they're uncomfortable because they haven't been in a setting that has that many knives or that many forks,
Mm-hmm.
and an energy that makes them uncomfortable. How do you help people overcome what makes them uncomfortable?
Is first, and it doesn't matter if it's child or adult or someone seasoned. I don't want to say, oh, someone seasoned is um pretty much just letting them know I believe in you, I see you. So, as a speaker and as a coach, we first have to get people comfortable. And how you get people comfortable is letting them know I'm just like you. I wasn't always in this position. See, that's where we get it twisted sometimes. In the words of Beyonce, I didn't wake up like this. Nobody just woke up like this.
Yeah.
We all had, at some point, we had to start at ground zero. Somebody had to teach me. But you know who my teacher was? I will always give her credit. That is my mother.
Hmm.
As my mother used to say, you can't buy class. You either have it or you don't.
Hmm.
And but there are some women and some young ladies, as I teach them and I do different, workshop and classes, some simply don't, but that does not mean it can't be taught. I've
Hmm.
learned that over the years, but it starts with you building self-confidence within them. And when you can build that self-confidence, but it has to come prior to them hitting that table. So
Hmm.
they can't just come and sit down at the table because there's going to be a level of uncomfortability, but me having those coaching sessions prior to the event or whatever the dinner may be or whatever the workshop may be, I'm prepping them to how to posture up. You are meant to be in that room. Don't
Hmm.
get it twisted. So it's a mindset thing. A lot of times people think, oh, I need to understand the difference between this particular fork and that particular spoon. No, sis, if you just get it here, if I can get you here, If I can get into your head, which means I'm going to help you understand who you are and whose you are.
Mhm.
When you can get them here and teach them, it starts here and then it transcends out from there, then I've got them. Because it's not as hard as people think. But we get so caught up on the outer, you start here first.
Mhm.
It's
Thank you.
tapping into their mindset first.
Thank you for that. And I'm speaking of knives and forks and
Mhm,
plates, and I wanted to give that to you because I saw that that was something that you are an expert of. But I also see it as a seat at the table at
mhm,
universities all over the country that we
yeah,
have students that are now reaching the point where they may be homesick or they may have
mhm,
tried out for a Miss Freshman or
mhm,
a freshman class president,
yes.
and they're not finding themselves
Mhm,
where they thought that they would find themselves, and
yeah.
they're a little bit uncomfortable. And so you answered that beautifully.
Oh, thank
That we,
you.
we definitely have to look within,
Oh
um,
yeah.
and that
You
strength.
you have to start within because I always say, don't get it twisted. Don't allow social media to fool you.
Yes.
And think that you have to show up this way or you have to look this way. Because if you get it here in the mindset, if you can tap into the mindset of any individual, doesn't matter their age, gender, or so forth, you've got them. This is where you win them at here.
Mhm. I love that. So
Thank
let's talk a little bit more about where you're going. So,
you.
I think you're a mover and a shaker,
Thank you.
and I can only imagine that you're working on something else or have a goal or something that you may want to share with people or something that you're working on that you're excited to share. So, I just wanted to offer you the floor to do that.
At this time, in the words of Michelle Obama, our favorite first lady, I often say I haven't arrived anywhere.
Mhm.
I'm in a season of becoming because I
Mhm.
don't feel like we ever arrive as individuals. And if you ever feel like you arrived, I need you to go back and let's rethink that thing. Because if you are not growing, you're not evolving. So I'm in a season where I'm evolving, I am becoming. There's a dot, dot, dot behind that becoming. Because I know in this season, God has shown me that I know that you are teaching. Teaching is at the heart of who you are, but I have so many bigger platforms. This is what he continuously speaks to me. So in this season, I am building out or reaching out to as many people as I can that are in need of coaching for young girls. That's where it starts. So when we talk about a refined lady, when we talk about being poised in certain settings and talk about feeling good when you walk in the room and understand when they don't think you belong, you're going to walk in the room like God sent you himself.
Yeah.
That is those are the workshops that I am extensively building out is because I don't feel that we have them in schools. Let me say that. Let me back up for a second. I feel that we have them, but what I feel is that we don't have real talk. I have a book that is titled Dear Sis, Let Me Give It to You Straight. I am going to give you the package, but I'm going to help you unmask some of the insecurities that you have. So, in this next season, stay tuned to what Dear Six Part 2 is going to give you and prepare you for this next season in your life because I believe that we're all transitioning, or we should be in a season where we are transitioning. If you're standing still, nothing is happening. And so I hear women all the time talk about I want differently. But sis, in order for you to want differently, you've got to move differently. And
Mhm.
so I'm going as a transformation and empowerment coach, I am in a season where I'm prepping women to take that next step. Tip over, sis. Because in order for you to see that greatness, you've got to take the steps. So that's where Dr. Alicia A. Williams is going this season. Stay tuned. I have so much that will be unloading between the end of this year and especially the beginning of 2026. If you are following me, you're going to be in for a treat. If you're a young woman, a little girl, no matter what, and even men, I know I always talk about my women, but I believe that everyone in this new season is going to be impacted by what I do.
Mhm. I believe that because I have been impacted by you.
Oh,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
you. I
Thank you.
appreciate your words, and it just I could see the flow. I could feel the flow of it. It just
Mm,
you love what you do.
I do. I do.
I can feel
I
it. I
do.
can
And it's
definitely.
not for my glory because who I am, uh, I have a friend who often stated, I am not great by mistake because I believe that everything that has happened to me, it has nothing to do with luck. It has everything to do with him above because
Mhm.
I am nothing without him. I am nothing without the values that I'll talk about as a snippet in the book. That's the root of who I am and who I've transitioned to be at this big age, as I always tell everybody. But I'm super excited that I know that God is using me. I know that I'm a vessel to impact lives. A lot of times people, and I talk about this quite a bit, I did not know what my story would be, but what I did know is that God had something in store for me that had something to do with education and that my education would go beyond just the classroom.
Mm, mm. Well, I am so glad that you said yes to your calling.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you are flourishing in your calling. I'm
Thank you.
so happy that you are a part of and the lead author of this book that is
Thank you.
coming soon
So
to each and
excited.
every one of us. And so I just want to say that we are at the end of our interview. It's gone quick.
Yes,
I
it is.
appreciate you. You have dropped so many gems. I
Thank
think
you.
that people are really going to enjoy your chapter
Thank you.
because I'm sure they have enjoyed you and will enjoy you as they watch this interview. I want to
Thank
give you a shout out opportunity. If
you.
there's anyone from your undergrad experience, anyone just in your family, anyone that you want to give a shout out to or thank them for their impact on you.
First and foremost, I give all my glory and praise to God first, who's the head of my life. My husband, who has rolled this thing out with me, he's my quiet storm, where I'm over here, the extra one. He's the quiet one. My children, who are my why. They are the reason I show up and do what I do today is because watching them flourish. One who's about to finish at Alabama State. I have a sophomore at A&M. Ooh, don't tell anybody. And then our youngest son, who, who's the last one, who's a junior in high school, will soon be empty nesters in 2 years. And so in that time frame, I think of what God is doing and what he's going to continue to do in my life. My parents, I would be remiss if I did not speak of my parents, who my amazing parents who continue to lead by example. My maiden name is Wright, and we often say we only do things the right way. We may not always get it right, but we always do what is right. And so I live by that. My siblings, who are amazing, they have no idea how much they inspire me to continue to show up because I know that we are a product of each other. That blood, that flow, it runs deep and it runs through our veins. I want to give a shout out to Alabama State University. Thank you, because I would not. You are a part of who I am. The good, the bad, the ugly. I take it all because it has truly molded and shaped me to be who I am today. My sisters of Spring '01, Beta Eta Chapter, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Thank you to every instructor who spoke into me, because a lot of times people think you did this on, you didn't do this on your own. You had to have some help, some type of encouragement along the way. So I want to thank all of them for what they've done for me over the years and continue to do today.
That is a wonderful shout out that you just gave.
Thank you.
So I want to thank you for just sharing your time and your energy and your
Thank
wisdom
you.
with me tonight and with all of the great audience members who will be watching and of course all of the wonderful hornets that will be supporting you and this.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank
And
you so much for
we
having me. It's been an
also
honor.
absolutely. And we thank Dr. Ashley Little, of course, for her vision. Um,
Yes,
we have, of course, the HBCU Experience Movement, the Alabama State University edition coming soon to you.
it
So
is coming.
make sure you're on the lookout for that. We also want to thank one of our sponsors, Miss Wilmina uh, Gripper. She is with the WEG Consulting and Training Corps. So we want to give them a shout out and thank them for being a part of this journey.
Uh,
So, Dr. Alicia A. Williams, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Thank
I
you. It's
look
been a
forward to
pleasure.
reading your book.
I
Ladies
look
and
forward. Thank you
gentlemen,
so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bye bye,
Bye.
everyone.